Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muy buenos días a todos. Hoy hace un día soleado, por lo menos aquí en Barcelona. Vamos a ir viendo,
Muy buenos
inshallah,
días.
a ver si se une más gente. Mm, ok. Entonces, para no demorar más, hola Zina, bienvenida. Para no ir demorando más, vamos a ir empezando, inshallah, y a medida que la profesora Shea vaya presentando, voy yo enviando las invitaciones a nuestros alumnos. Wa alaikum salam, Evelyn. Y sin más, pues voy a invitar a Shea. Hi, Shea. I don't
Oh,
hear you. Yeah,
how about now? Hola. Hello.
yeah. Hi, how are you today?
I'm feeling great. How about
I'm
you? How are you?
I'm amazing. Thanks to God.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know if I told you, but a week ago I tested positive on COVID together with my family.
Oh, no,
But
no, you didn't.
but
How are
we're
you now?
fine. Yeah, we're,
That's good to
we're fine.
hear.
God. So and
Mm.
today the weather is amazing. It's sunny here in Barcelona.
I see. I heard it's snowing so much in Spain right
Madrid.
now.
Yeah, it's just crazy. The crazy thing
Yeah.
has been freeze,
Yes.
transport, everything. So it's been
Oh
a
my.
catastrophe. You know.
Mm.
Hi Zineb, hi Evelyn. So once again, Jay, thanks for being with us, and the stage is yours.
Thanks a lot. I mean, okay. Good afternoon to everyone. It's good to be with you again. This is the first session that we are going to have for the year 2021, right? So let me take a look at the comment section. We have Zanab. Hi, Zanab. And we also have Evelyn. And we also have some, let's see if we have some people on Facebook. So hello, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. Hello to everyone. And for today, we're going to talk about something great. Okay, so I'll be presenting my screen right now to all of you. Give me one quick moment for this. Mhm. Okay, it's just loading for a second. Okay, by the way, while we are waiting, how's your new year so far? Right, let's ask our viewers right now. How's your new year so far? How's 2021? Okay, put your comments, experiences on the comment section. Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, how's your new year so far? Mm-hmm. So while we are waiting for some responses, okay. Yes, yeah, I've heard that it's snowing so much in Spain right now. So I hope everyone's okay to those people who are in Spain. I hope you guys are fine there. And yeah, as you can see, I think you can see my screen right now. So let's get started. There you have it. Let me just increase the size of this. Okay, there you go. So if you can see this, just inform me. I think the reception is not real time, but yeah, just put your comments on the comment section. So, yeah, I was asking something about your new year. This is going to be our seventh session. Okay, wow. We've already had seven sessions and time flies so fast. Okay, so welcome to the seventh session that we have here at Islamic Fundraising. And yeah, this is my question earlier. How's your new year so far? There you have it. How's your 2021 so far? So far means at the beginning of something. Let's say, how are you so far? How's your day so far? This is being asked when the event, okay, when the situation is not yet done. Okay, when you want to have an update about something. Okay, you normally ask it, how's your day so far? Is it nice? Is it tiring? So we put a specific adjective for that. How about you? How is your 2021 so far? Uh-huh. All right. By the way, if you do have a friend or if you know anyone who wanted to join us today, you can invite them so they can interact with us and learn something today as well. Right. So we are now going to proceed to our next slide. There you have it. So for this one, they have a new goal. They say that if it's New Year, for example, that is the time, right, that we set new goals. Do you also follow this kind of thing in your life? For example, a lot of people start something new on, let's say, every January 1. Okay. For example, I have my own goal every year, like a new set of goal. How about you in terms of learning English, for example, or learning anything? Do you have a new goal? If you have a new goal, then put it on the comment section. All right, we have new, where do you see that, or where can I see that? Yeah, new viewers. So hello there. Bebe, is that your name? Hello. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Imain, yeah. Hello to the both of you. And yeah, I was asking something about this. Do you have a new goal? So yes, according to some people, yes, I have. Okay, that's good to hear. Having a new goal is important, especially in terms of learning English. Okay, so I encourage everyone to plan like what level do I think I need to have at this point. So having a specific goal is important for you to know on how you are going to achieve it. Okay, if you want to be fluent, you have to set a specific timeline. When we say timeline, the end point. Let's say at or by March, I should be or I should have this kind of level or this kind of fluency. So by that, you will know how you are going to improve, okay, and you're going to stay on track. Okay, when we say stay on track, it is when you can monitor your progress. According to Zineb, my first goal is to be more positive. What a good goal, right? So yes, being positive is really important for you to be able to achieve anything. When you are positive or when you have the optimism. Optimism is such a good word. So you can also use that optimism in terms of doing things. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. This is going to be our topic for today. It is all about mastering your sentence construction with the use of modal verbs. So, it is important for you to be able to use verbs like modal verbs or helping verbs for you to be able to express yourself more accurately. Okay? Do you guys know modal verbs? Okay. Any one of you who knows modal verbs, put it on the comment section as we go along with our discussion. So, with the use of modal verbs, first we are going to define, okay? We are going to know what are the parts of a sentence, how you are going to create a sentence, and how you are going to add modal verbs. So, okay, there's an answer here. I do not about modal verbs. So, you don't know modal verbs, don't worry, because we are going to discuss it little by little. When we say modal verb, this is a helping verb that we use to give a specific feeling about something. So later on, I am going to describe it with sentence, okay, and we are going to practice it for you to be able to test your knowledge. Okay, are you guys ready? So type yes if you are, and we are going to proceed to our discussion. Okay, so for this one, right. Let's go ahead with the next slide. So let's start with the basic. When we say the basic way of knowing what subject and predicate is. So this pertaining to your subject is a sentence. Is a sentence is the predicate. So this is a sentence. That is a sentence itself with a specific subject and a predicate. Now, let's discuss that further. Okay, so when you say sentence, we have four types of sentences. First is the simple sentence. Simple. Second is compound. When you say compound, it's two. Okay. Compound sentence. When we say complex sentence, we're going to have this further together with the compound and complex sentence. We're going to start with the simple. Okay. Simple. Who among you knows simple sentence? So this is somehow, or this is the one that I have mentioned earlier. When we say sentence, um, it is also called an independent clause. When we say an independent clause, it has a subject, it has a predicate, and it expresses a complete thought. For example, I live in Spain. So I is the subject, okay? Live in Spain is predicate. So if you're going to check on this, it has a subject, which is the I, it has a predicate, which is this, and it expresses a complete thought, meaning it is understandable, right? So it is something that can be understood, right? And for example, what we have here, identify the subject and predicate in these simple sentences, right? For example, we have number one, Cindy and Sue auditioned for the lead role in the play. So, where is the subject in here? Same with this one. The kittens were adopted by the family. Do you guys know what adopted means? Adopted. This is a good vocabulary. Adopted. Okay, adopted is when you are going to take care of something as if you own it. For example, or in possession of something. Let's say I am going to adopt a cat. Like let's say the ones that you can see here, the kittens, like two or more cats, small cats or kittens. So you're going to get that kitten and you're going to bring that home and take care of it. So you adopted that specific animal. Okay. That same goes with a kid. For example, if you want to adopt a kid, like taking care of it as if you are the real parents. Next, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are my favorite. So, where is the subject in this sentence? So, I want you to take a look at these subjects, which is pretty much easy to find, right? So, when we say subject, this is normally at the beginning of the sentence, the doer of the action. So, let's take a look at those: Cindy and Sue, that's the subject, and the rest is the predicate. The kittens, peanut butter and jelly, as well as the committee. So, this is a simple sentence, okay? Simple sentence. So, one or a subject, a predicate, and something that is complete. So, that is simple sentence. Now, we are going to go to compound. Okay, like what I've said to you guys, compound sentence contains two independent clauses. So when we say independent clause, those are sentence that can stand on its own. Okay, meaning to say, if you have that sentence, you will understand the thought of the sentence. So two simple sentences in one whole sentence, and they are being joined by a conjunction. So I have a tip for you, okay, to you who are watching right now. We have a code for that, or we have a trivia for that. For you to be able to memorize conjunctions, all you have to do is to memorize this word, fanboys. Okay, do you know what fanboys is? Okay, fanboys, when you are idolizing, let's say, an artist, and you're a boy, a fanboy. Okay, so for example, we have F for for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So the first letters of those words are fanboys. Okay, so that's the easiest way to remember conjunctions. Well, let's put it in a sentence. Okay, let's put that in a sentence. So, for example, Juanjo played football. So there is a comma. So, so Luna went shopping. So this is one sentence that the person mentions, okay? For example, I said, Juanjo played football. So Luna went shopping. So first sentence is a sentence that everyone can understand. We have the subject and the predicate. Same goes with the second sentence. Luna went shopping. So in this case, Luna is the subject and went shopping is the predicate. It is also understandable. So it is two independent clauses. This is the first independent clause, and this is the second independent clause. So they are being joined. Okay, they are being joined with a conjunction. So is part of the word fanboys. That's at the last letter. Okay, so F for for. Okay, let's memorize that. F for for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. Okay, these are really good words to remember, because this is how you're going to improve your level in speaking. Okay, that is the best way for you to be able to practice your speaking skills. So you have to start by knowing some words. Okay, so that's a nice one. There you have it. So, two independent clauses in one sentence. For example, as you can see here, identifying the conjunction, okay? The conjunction in these compound sentences. So, as you can see, these are some examples. First, I am going to the dance. Okay, for this one, it should be I am going to dance. So I have to buy a new dress. Jenny took the pictures, and Aaron developed them. So basically, they are the same. Okay, first independent clause, second independent clause. If we're going to see in the sample, like this one, we have so, and, but, or. Okay. Take a look at this sentence. It should be I am going to dance. I am going to dance. All right, or I am going to the dance floor. The dance floor is where you dance. Okay, this could be at the middle of a bar or a pub, for example. So this is a place where you dance, so a dance floor. Okay, do not get confused about it. Just a caution, okay? Always remember this, but this is going to take effect when you are writing, okay? So when you are writing, do not use a comma, okay? Every time you use the words and, or, but, nor, for, so, and yet, okay? We only use a comma when the coordinating conjunction joins the two independent clauses. How are we going to make that easier to understand? We can only make it easier to understand by having this simple example. So let's say the necklace was beautiful but expensive. Okay. Again, no comma because this is not, okay, expensive, but expensive is not an independent clause. It is a dependent clause. Why? Why is it a dependent clause? Because it is not understandable. The thought is not complete. Okay, the necklace was beautiful but expensive. Do not put a comma in between. If you're going to put a comma, you have to make the next words as an independent clause. Okay? Is that clear for everyone? You can practice this in writing, okay? You can practice that in writing. There you have it. Okay. Next, we have this one. There you go. So always remember this part. And let's go with the complex sentence. Okay. For the complex sentence, we have at least one independent clause and one independent clause. Okay. One dependent and one independent. For example, take a look at this one. John cannot set up his typewriter because, okay, because is a conjunction. The wall has no outlet. Okay, when we say outlet, this is where you plug an appliance, for example, your charger, the charger of your laptop. So that is where you plug it or you put it's like a socket, okay? An outlet is like a socket. So John cannot set up his typewriter. Okay. The wall has no outlet. The wall has no outlet. It's understandable, but the thought is not complete. Okay. So that is one dependent clause. And the first clause is an independent, which is this one. John cannot set up his typewriter. And this is called a complex sentence. Okay. Later on, we're going to use that in a sentence together with modal verbs. So, modal verb is such an interesting topic because you will be able to add a feeling, okay, a feeling in your speech. There you go. So let's go ahead with the compound and complex sentence. So this is a bit tricky. Okay, as you can see here, it has two independent clauses and one dependent clause. Okay, as you can see here, you are going to put a comma, okay, a comma, which is this. This is called a comma. There you have it after the dependent clause if it begins with a sentence, which is this one. Okay. You also put a comma before the word and, but, or that connects the two independent clauses. So no one answered, there's a comma, and the conjunction and, okay, was scared. So, were you able to understand that? Always remember that when you are adding, okay, when you are adding sentences, if you have two independent clauses and one dependent clause, that is called a compound complex sentence, okay? So let's try to add emotion. So, how are we going to add an emotion in your speech? This is something that is important. Okay, how? How are we going to add an emotion in our speech? So, it is really important. So, let us have some samples. So, as you can see here, we have the first one. You should work hard. You should work hard. That is the line. The second one, you can work hard. There is a huge difference with the choice of words, right? So, as you can see here, we have the modal verb should. We also have the modal verb can. So, how are we going to express it? Or what is the proper modal verb to use? That is a good question in mind. So, when we say should, okay, always remember that it is or it has a specific thought, which is something that we're going to discuss further. So, remember this line because we're going to go back to this later on. You should work hard. It's like I am demanding you to work hard because you have to do it. Well, you can work hard. This is like an option that you can work hard or you cannot work hard. It's like you have to decide for it. So should and can has a different meaning. Okay. They have different definitions. So should and can. Let's go to the topic itself, which is modal verbs. Okay. What are the sample modal verbs that you know? Right. Tell that to me. So, do you know any modal verbs aside from should and can or can in British English? What are the modal verbs that you know? Uh huh. I think we always use or we commonly use modal verbs in our sentences, but sometimes we get things mixed up. For example, we sometimes use this word to express a different emotion. Okay, that's why we have to know what is the right verb or what is the right modal verb for a right feeling or for the right feeling. So we are going to have some samples here. So let's define it first. Define modal verbs. So when we say models, let's go with the basic. When we say models, it is a modal auxiliary, and auxiliary means helping, right? A helping verb. It means that it is always beside the main verb because the function of this is to help. Okay. We can only provide help if we are near, something like that. If that is going to be about the words, okay, let's say modal verbs. So for that, when we are going to express a specific thing, it's like the adjective. It's like an adjective to a noun. Okay. This one, models or modal auxiliaries give additional information to the main verb that follows it. So let's have a sample. All right. So here we have these list. Okay. The list of modal verbs. Okay. According to Bebe, would is an example of a modal verb. That's very nice. That's correct. So we have can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, and must. So these are only few. There are still more modal verbs that we use, but these are the most common, right? Do you guys know how to use these in different sentences or situations? Are you familiar about all the modal verbs that we have here? Yeah, here on the presentation. Yes, are these familiar to you? Right, so we have can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must. This is also a good tongue twister. So if you want to practice your pronunciation skill, you can read it. Like start with a slow pace and then try to make it a tongue twister. Right. So let's go ahead and proceed to the next slide. So modal verbs are used to express functions such as, so these are the emotions that I was mentioning earlier. First is permission. Permission when you are asking for someone else's permission to do something or to not do something. Like can I go outside? Can I study abroad? So ability is something that you can do. Okay. Obligation, this is something that you should do. Prohibition, this is something that you shouldn't do. Lack of necessity, when you need not to do it. Advice is something that you can do it or you should, depending on the situation. Possibility as well, and probability. Possibility, it may or it might. It's the same with the probability. Okay, so always remember these functions. Okay, functions of modal verbs. Okay, so later on, we're going to have it one by one. There you go. So these are the samples. Let's see if it's visible on your end. Can you see that? Do you have a good eyesight? Like way of seeing things. We call it eyesight. Do you have a good eyesight? Okay, so modal verbs is located at the left part of your screen. So must, let's start with must. Okay, I'm looking at the monitor as well to see if you can see that. Okay. So must is a strong obligation. Okay. Must. You must stop when the traffic lights turn red. Okay. As drivers, we have to stop when the traffic lights turn red. There you have it. So it's a strong obligation. Okay. You must stop. It's something that the person has to do. Okay, as an obligation. So must. Logical conclusion is when you or certainty is something that you are assuming. Perhaps he must be like this. Okay, he must be tired or he must be very tired. He's been working all day long. Yes, right? He must be happy. He's been with his family over the weekends, right? So it's something that you concluded. Okay, when we say concluded or conclusion, it is something that is what you think, okay, depending on the situation that you know. Okay, so must. That is such a good model verb. So if you have, let's say if you want to talk about a specific emotion, you will have to use modal verbs. Okay, so instead of saying he is very tired, he's been working all day long, there's no emotion in that. You are not thinking about concluding something, or you may not be certain or sure about the situation. But if you put, he must be very tired, he's been working all day long. So there is an emotion that you put in there, right? Did you get it? Is everything clear for all of our participants? tonight or today. So, next, this is the contrary of the word must. Okay, must, must not. So, must is a strong obligation, therefore, must not is a prohibition. When we say prohibition, this is something that you shouldn't do. Okay, so prohibit, like drinking and driving are prohibited, right? That's not allowed. So, that is one thing. And for example, we have here, you must not smoke in the hospital, right? This is something that is a a law, right? Law in some countries. So you must not smoke in the hospital. You are prohibited. Okay. So that's must not. You must not go out at night without a face mask, or especially in the morning or any time of the day. Okay. So another thing is, yeah, let me ask you a question. What are the things that you guys are prohibited to do in your country or in your place? Must not. Try to use the modal verb must not. I'm challenging our viewers to create a short sentence for that using our modal verb must not, because only few people are using this modal verb. So it's your time to use this so that you are not going to forget it. There you go. Yeah, since we have like Bebe here for the first time, try to participate by commenting your sentence using the modal verb must not. There you have it. Okay, try to create a sentence using the modal verb must not, which talks about a prohibition. For example, we have you must not smoke in the hospital. You must not sleep while you're walking. Well, that is something that shouldn't be done anyway. Yes, how about your sentence? So try to create or come up with a good sentence, like short sentence that you can use this, okay, this modal verb. So I will be reading that later on. So for this one, we must not harm others. Wow, nice. Good job, Bebe. So we must not harm others is such a good sentence that is a prohibition. Good job. So just put the word, the letter T with the word no. So we must not harm others. There you have it. So, how about the rest? What is your sentence? So, create a sentence that or in which you can use the expression or the modal verb must not. And let's go with the word can while waiting for the rest of the sentences. So, can is the ability. Okay. Can, for example, ability, like I can swim, I can dance, I can speak in front of a lot of people. Could be. So, ability. This is something that you can do. What is your talent? What is something that you can do? Oh, by the way, according to Iman, or you must not traveling because you have COVID. Okay. Is this the person who has the virus, or is it something about the virus itself? So you can say you must not travel. So that is something that can be corrected or improved. You must not travel. By the way, one rule about using the modal verb is after the modal verb and then the main verb has to be base form. For example, you must go. Go is a base form. It's not you must be going, you must going, you must dancing. It should be you must dance, you must swim, okay? Something like that. So you have to put the the base form, okay, the original form of the verb, We call it root word, okay, or base form in other terms. Nice sentence, by the way. You can just improve it a bit. Okay, you must not travel. There you have it. So, well done for participating, Iman or Iman. And yeah, let's go back to this. We have the word can as the ability, okay, ability to do something. Earlier, I was asking about things that you can do. And permission. This is also being asked if you want to ask permission. Can I use your phone, please? Can I go to the bathroom? Can I dance at the dance floor if you want to ask your mom or something? Or if you want to ask something to someone, okay? So can is also being used if you're talking about possibility, a possible situation or thing that may happen. Like smoking can cause cancer, right? So this is a possibility that may happen to a person. So can has three ways, okay, or emotions. First is the ability to do something, the permission, and then the possibility. Okay, always remember the functions of the word can. Okay, next we have, there you go. Okay, this is quite a lot. First is could. So make sure to use it correctly. So let's say I can dance when I was 12 years old. So can is no longer the word in there. You have to use the word could. Okay? When you're talking about your ability in the past that is not your ability in the present, you have to use the modal verb can. Could, sorry. I could dance when I was 12 years old. So when I was younger, I could run fast. It means that this time you can no longer run as fast as you could when you were young. Okay. So could is the ability in the past. Another thing, could can be used when you are talking about or asking polite permission. So earlier, can is also being used. Okay, can also be used, but this is more of a casual thing. If you want to sound more formal, you can make use of the word um, could. Could you help me reach the upper part of the shelf? So something like that. Can you help me get the bag in front of you? So could is something that you can use when you want to ask in a more polite manner. Okay. So next we have the word possibility. So possibility, it could rain tomorrow. It could rain tomorrow. So you might get confused because we have the word could that talks about ability in the past, and we have another one which is a possibility that may happen in the future. So that has a different function, okay? So if that's an ability in the past, then that's good, or a possibility that may happen in the future. So that is the definition, okay, and the things that the word could can do. It could rain tomorrow. You have to bring an umbrella, okay? I one student told me as well that bringing an umbrella is not so common in Spain if it's not raining, because here it's common. If it's sunny, people normally bring umbrella or use umbrella because of the humidity. So that's one. And may, let's go to the next one. May talks about permission as well. May I use your phone, please? So basically, they only have like few differences. You can use one, you can use the other one. Could. Could I borrow your umbrella? Could I borrow your phone? Or may I borrow your phone? So it is possible. Okay. It is possible to use any of those as long as you're not going to use the other one that is far from what you want to say. Okay. So here, another thing that may can do is a possibility or a probability that something might happen. For example, it may rain tomorrow. It could rain tomorrow or it may rain tomorrow. Okay, talking about the possibility or probability because we're not sure. Perhaps it might rain, but maybe it will not. Okay, so that's one. Another thing or situation is the word might. Might. Might talks about polite permission. Might I suggest an idea? Might I suggest an idea to you, for example? There you go. And another thing is you can use this word or modal verb when you are also talking about possibility and probability of something. I might go on holiday to Australia next year. I might just stay at home. We call it staycation. I think I've mentioned that in my previous sessions with you when we say staycation. Okay, staycation means staying in your town or at home to spend your holidays. So there's that's one thing. Okay, I might go on holiday to Australia next year. So might, might. It's probably going to happen or probably not going to happen. There you go. Next, need not. Okay, this is one special modal verb that not everyone is using in their sentences. Need not. When we say need not, this talks about the lack of necessity when you don't need to do something. This is similar or this has the same meaning with the phrase need, don't need. You don't need to go to the market. You need not go to the market. Okay, we use it if we want to say that there is no need to do something. It There is a lack of necessity, no need to do it. Okay, absence of obligation. For example, I need not buy tomatoes because there are plenty of tomatoes in the fridge. Some people are also pronouncing it as tomatoes. It's correct. That's in a British English. So it depends on what you follow, if that's in American English or the British English. Both are correct. Okay, so need not. I need not buy tomatoes. I need not buy tomatoes. So in this case, you can also say, I don't need to buy tomatoes because there are plenty of tomatoes in the fridge. Okay, call it need not, lack of necessity. So the last part is this one, when should and ought come to the picture. When we say ought, okay, or should, we are talking about obligation. Like, I should see the doctor, or I should see a doctor. I ought to see a doctor because I have a terrible headache. So you ought yourself to go to the doctor. Okay. Same with advice. You should revise your lessons, or you ought to revise your lessons. Perhaps you are going to encounter this. So this is the importance of knowing those words. Okay. Next, we have the word logical conclusion. He should. He ought to be very tired. He's been working all day long. This is similar to the word can or must. He must be very tired. He should be very tired. He ought to be very tired. He's been working all day long. So it could be should, ought to, or must. So they are all under logical conclusion. Had better talked about or talks about advice or pieces of advice. Always remember that we don't say advices, okay, because advices is going to work as a verb. She advises me to go home because it's late. Okay, advice for you to be able to make it a countable noun, you have to put pieces of advice. Okay? Pieces of advice. My teacher gave me a piece of advice. Always attend the class, something like that. Okay, advice. You better revise your lessons. So that is the definition or the use of the modal verb had better. There you go. Let us go to testing your knowledge. Let's test your knowledge. Okay, who is ready? So type yes if you can hear me perfectly and if you are there. So let us test your knowledge. This is the best part because this is where you will know if you have understood the lesson. Okay, again, we are going to go back about the usage of modal verbs, the importance of that. Okay, the importance of that is to put an emotion in your speech. Okay, so to avoid being confused about the words or the emotions that you want to put in your sentence. Okay, so let us start. Let us start by having the first sentence. So this has the answer. Okay, first is buy this book. So this is the sentence. So how are you going to put this in a sentence? So for example, you must buy this book. Another one, there's no need to buy a car. We need not buy a car. So lack of obligation, no need means lack of obligation. So you have to put the modal verb need not. And this one, it's more of an obligation or something that you want the person to do. So with urgency, buy this book. You must buy this book. Or you can buy this book if that is like an or possibility. Okay. Possibility. You can or you cannot. It depends on you. Okay. Now we are going to have the sample. So I will be giving the sentence and you are going to put the right vocabulary or the right modal verb for the sentence. How about this? Maybe Sarah will return tonight. Mhm. What do you think is the answer? Maybe Sarah will return tonight. Sarah or she return tonight. What do you think is the answer? Is it she might return tonight? She will return tonight? Or she will not return tonight? Or she should return tonight? What do you think is the answer to this? Mhm. She, according to Bebe, it's she may return tonight. According to Diana, it's she might return tonight. Uh-huh. She, according to Bebe, it's B. So she will return tonight. All right, let's analyze this. It's a good um debate on what is the answer. So Diana, are you sure? Zinab says B will return tonight. Okay, so let's analyze this. We have Bebe answered again. A, I think. Okay, let's see. So we have here might, will not, and should. Try to eliminate one, which is will not, because this is in negative. So we're going to remove this. So we have three options. It's might, will, and should. We have the word maybe. When we say maybe, what is that? What does that mean? What is the meaning of the word maybe? Do you guys know the meaning of the word maybe? Maybe this time. That's a song. Maybe. Maybe I'll go there later. Maybe. What is the meaning of maybe? Do you guys know? Mm-hmm. Maybe. Maybe it means that you Are not sure. Okay. Maybe. So the answer in this case should be might. Okay. Might, because we're talking about possibility, right? She will, maybe Sarah will, but maybe Sarah will not. Okay. In this case, she might return tonight. She might return tonight. If you say she might return tonight, it means that you are not sure. But if you are talking about will, she will return tonight, it means you are sure. Okay? You are sure that the person is going to return. Okay, congratulations to those who answered it correctly. Okay, there you have it. So it should be might, not will. Okay? Because you have another information, which is the word maybe. Okay? Did you get it? Is it clear for everyone? All right. So there you have it. Okay. So perhaps you have some questions in mind. Next, let's have this. The letter, or there is no need to answer the letter. There is no need to answer the letter. A, might. B, need not. C, cannot. And D, should. What is the right answer for you? Let's test your knowledge. Test your understanding by answering number two. Okay, is it might, need not, cannot, or should? There is no need to answer the letter. If you're going to use a modal verb, what is that modal verb? All right, Baby says B, Diana says B with a question mark. What is the answer that you are sure about? Sabrina says need not. Hi, Sabrina. So need not. Okay, that is correct. Mhm. No need, because of this phrase no need. Okay, so the answer should be B, because you don't need to answer it. No need to answer the sheet. Cannot is not about prohibition. If there is going to be prohibition, the sentence should be you um, you shouldn't, something like that. You shouldn't answer. You must not answer. Okay, it should be cannot. But the thought is there is no need. So meaning to say you need not to answer. Okay, so let's go ahead with, okay, let's take a look at this one. So again, these are the feelings or feelings that you may incorporate in the modal verbs. Lack of necessity, the advice, the possibility, the probability, the permission, ability, obligation, and prohibition. So I want you to create a sentence from one of the feelings that we have here. The feelings that we have. For example, try to use or make use of a word or modal verb that we use when we are talking about advice or possibility. For example, can I see the or can I use your car for today? Can I use your car, or may I use your car today? So I am asking for a permission. How about you? If you can understand or remember the modal verbs that we have here earlier, what sentence can you give? Okay, a short sentence that you can use talking about these words that we have on screen. Let's say ability. I can I can dance. That's a simple sentence, right? I can dance. Probability. Okay, probability, possibility of something. You shouldn't. It's a prohibition. Obligation, you should. Okay. What can you remember? Can you give me a sentence? All right. Can you give me a sentence about that? Like a short sentence. There you have it. lack of necessity, advice, possibility, or probability. Mhm. So we have a lot of sentences that we can use. I want you to remember these words that is going to help you express yourself further. Okay, so just keep on using the words that you are learning and try to practice it. That is the best way to use the words or remember the words. It's when you are using it in a conversation. So if you know someone, okay, if you know someone who is speaking in English, then try to speak with them. That's going to help. And yes, let's ask for your questions. Okay, do you have a question in mind? Questions. Do you have a question? Yeah, before we end today's session, our seventh session, do you have a question that we can answer for you? Yeah, I'll be giving you a couple of seconds or a minute to discuss some confusions that you have in mind before we end this session. So don't just ask it here. Oh, what's the difference between may and might? Normally, if we are going to go back to the words that we have discussed earlier, may is something that we use, or they fall in the same category. May or might. It may rain later, or it might rain later. But might is being used when we are talking about politeness, politeness. So, might I use it? So it's something that you want to express. Okay, when you want to express politeness, we normally use the word might instead of may, but they fall under the same category, and there is no rule for that. We just have to memorize it. Okay, that is something that we can do about these modal verbs. Did I answer it for you, Bebe? All right, thank you as well, Diana. Do you have any other questions? Okay, thanks very much for asking. So, yes, the differences, anything else that I can do or I can answer or clarify to all of you? Mhm. All right. So, I think we are all clear. Thanks very much for participating. And there you have it. I mean, thank you. Oh, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so just thank you so much. It has been so interesting for me. I always had many questions and troubles guessing when to use each modal verb. So thank you
Mhm.
so much, and see you next week.
Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.
Bye. Y hasta aquí llegó la clase de hoy. Barakallahu fikum, gracias por estar aquí. No hemos estado mucho, lo siento mucho porque no hemos difundido demasiado, pero alhamdulillah hemos podido compartir información con 7 personas, que es algo muy importante. Así que sin más, barakallahu fikum, que tengáis inshallah un buen fin de semana. Salam alaikum.